is a wild one calling you by name in your most inconvenient moments. Trust her whisper can reach through the walls of your domestic life, arriving in your dreams. I commend you for not running at first, wild and naked with desire out of your life to meet her, tearing at your hair in ecstatic freedom. But eventually you will. We all secretly long to go howling or sneaking off into the forest under the light of the full moon when our family has gone safely to sleep and we are wild with insomnia. You cannot get this wrong, because the one stirring the fire inside, casting dreamlike shadows, has been waiting for you a long, long time.
Hair by hair, bone by bone, wild woman, reclaim your throne. Arrowed bows, dreams of crows, wild woman, come home. Hair by hair, bone by bone, wild woman, reclaim your throne. Arrowed bows, dreams of crows, wild woman, come home. Wild woman, come home. Wild woman, come home.
Tiny bones, toe bones, femurs and skulls, wishbones, crow bones, cats and bygone bones. It's natural to feel your hair suddenly stand up on your thighs as your feet crumble and humble themselves near her fierce fire. Heart yearning for your own wildness to return. Stories of confession tumbling from your lips. I had no choice but to survive. I was making safe, longing to belong. I abandoned myself. I abandoned my dance, my voice, and finally, my howling heart.
Hair by hair, bone by bone, wild woman, reclaim your throne. Arrowed bows, dreams of crows, wild woman, come home. Hair by hair, bone by bone, wild woman, reclaim your throne. Arrowed bows, dreams of crows, wild woman, come home. Wild woman, come home. Wild woman, come home.
Now my skin is dry, my body aches. My mind is like a caged animal clawing at my skull, dying to escape. Please, grandmother, please, let me sit by your fire. I long to run with the wolves again. The skin of my cheeks moistened with tears, casting rainbows near the corners of my eyes. Her humming turns towards prayer in forgotten tongues as I watch the piles of bones begin to rattle, skeletons humming along with the bones under my own skin. She is the conductor, the bones, the instruments, everyone coming alive in her orchestra. Breath to bone, she lifts an ivory rib to meet her withered lips, playing it back to life. Skin on bone, her breath inviting an embedded song from the marrow into the night. Please, grandmother, please, break the cage of my own making. Songs pour out as wildfire catches in my blood, her shadow arching, back bending, spellbound as she is remembering me.
Hair by hair, bone by bone, wild woman, reclaim your throne. Arrowed bows, dreams of crows, wild woman, come home. Hair by hair, bone by bone, wild woman, reclaim your throne. Arrowed bows, dreams of crows, wild
sharing a bit about this piece now that we've come to completion. I'm really appreciating the almost sunset glow on her. My first time bringing her outside at this time of day. Moonlit by sun. Ganesha yantra. And as I was drawing it, I was really appreciating the similarity in creating the hexagonal shape and the seed of life. They both require starting with a circle and using that same circumference in the compass to plot out the 6 points. And so I really feeling like the seed of life and this star tetrahedron are different manifestations of a similar frequency, similar energy. This piece is an ode to that which brings life forth, which is succulent and ovular and textured and luscious. And I'm appreciating the way this womb came through in this shape that also resembles a chalice, perhaps holding flame, perhaps holding water, and tucked within the center of that womb, that uterus space, is another representation of the seed of life. This is a representation of the Hebrew letter He, meaning grace, and the client is Jewish, and one of her requests was to include the energy of a couple of the names of God in Hebrew, and those are written out in the deeper layers, but what felt true to show in this top layer is the single letter for grace, which shows up in several of those names. And we've got this luscious, burgeoning belly, transparent layer, and the beauty of the breasts, and another tucked back there, seed of life, flower experience. And this piece went through so many transformations, and was finally in the last moment actually speaking with a friend about the process of mitosis, and in some earlier versions this whole area looked more like the process of mitosis happening, and I then tucked that into these little glyphs down here, and these holy hieroglyphs, these sacred doodles of coming into and out of form. Then you can see the mitosis happening, the cellular creation, and then what finally came here was to bring this Vesica Pisces, and another way of adding in this shape, this vulva shape, the space where the circles meet, the shape of the petal and the seed of life. It's deeply connected with the individual being a part of all that is sacred. And then this flower made itself, wanted to be here, and is, for me, is such a play of the power of number 5 and how deeply that's linked to the feminine and magic, and the interplay of complementary colors with the oranges and the blues, and the significantly worked shading to give it that vibrating, pulsing quality. And throughout this piece there is a blend of carefully worked details and intentionally wild and still raw, edges and places that are left not too refined, left a bit in their raw and wild state, and holding little glimpses of the layers that are underneath. And I feel like this too speaks to such the nature of the feminine in her fullness and her healthfulness, to be both wild and refined, to be carefully tended and curated, and following an intention and a guidance, the banks, so to speak, and then the river, that which is still wild, still free, still unfettered, still messy. And I feel like a full life includes both of those, and so this painting includes both of those. May this inspire wellness and wholeness, fertility and beauty, remembering that which is sacred, that which is luscious and fertile and joyful within us. Thank you.